What's up, guys? Welcome back to another full day of eating keto while tracking total carbs versus net carbs. So it is now lunchtime. I've just filmed all my videos for this week's update, my week 80 weigh-in. So I'm going to start off with lunch. I'll show you my yummy new snack, and then I will show you dinner. Let's start off with lunch. Let me flip the camera around and see what we're having. So I know I showed eggs and bacon, or I'm not even sure, but I saw these. I was at the store and I really want them. So I figured you know how to make eggs and bacon. So I'm gonna switch them up. These ones have no sugar added. This brand is fantastic. You can find it at Sprouts is where I find it. I'm not sure. I think Whole Foods also carries it, but I'm not sure. It's gonna vary by location. But very clean ingredients, and I'm gonna go ahead and make 2 for me and 2 for Kyle. My kids also really enjoy these. And we're gonna do some eggs with it, and then my snack, as you can see, I'm nibbling here. I'm doing nut butter jelly with some celery, and I'm enjoying that big time. So anyways, let's go over to the pan. Oh, and on my eggs, I put Frank's hot sauce. It's a way to put flavor without making eggs taste like eggs every day. So here is, a half tablespoon of butter, and I'm just gonna pop that in the pan and we're gonna get started. All right, those are gonna cook and just brown up. Then I have a lunch buddy now. She's normally in school, but we are on our lunch break. So her sister has to eat at 10:30. What time do you have to eat?
I eat right now.
Which is 12 o'clock. So what are you having today?
I'm having a turkey sandwich. I had kefir and applesauce, and after my turkey sandwich,
So you had turkey, and then you had kefir, applesauce, and some dough. Everybody turn away. Cheetos. They're good though. You're allowed to have them. All right. Well, I'm gonna go back and cook my dinner. How's school going today?
Yummy.
Yummy. Look at the Elsa braid we have going on. I normally don't get to have lunch with my kids. She's usually at school, so it makes it kind of a little silver lining amidst this virtual learning thing we are doing.
But she just had dinner with me.
I do. I get to have a lunch date now. I normally have to go to school to see her at lunch. So we're going to be back when it's time to add the eggs. All right. Well, here is lunch. 3 sausage links and 3 eggs with a little bit of Frank's hot sauce. Okay, so one of my favorite ways to enjoy the nut butter lately is snacking on it, and I'm gonna flip the camera out and show you how to enjoy the almond butter and jelly nut butter from Perfect Keto. So right here, I have my scale all set up, and I have celery, just plain celery. And then I put a bowl on there, zero it out, and then I want 2 tablespoons or 32 grams, and I'm gonna just use that to dip my celery in. So let me switch hands here. Today is your Taco Tuesday. So I thought it'd be a great way to have carnitas and show you. I haven't done many pork recipes, so I thought I would go ahead and do a fun pork recipe. Plus I wanted to try a keto tortilla recipe. I know there's a lot of people that use the carb balanced tortillas. I personally don't like those because they contain wheat, gluten. That's an ingredient, it's a hard no for me. I would, but you do you. If that's easier for you, go ahead. If not, be like me and make your own tortillas. Or skip the tortilla altogether and throw this on a bed of lettuce or something. Now time to make some carnitas. I have my Instant Pot ready to go, and I will show you how easy it is to use your Instant Pot or even a slow cooker, crock pot, to make these carnitas. I got this recipe from tastelovely.com. I will post the link down below. It's not my recipe. The only changes I'm gonna make is I'm switching out the onion to purple onion or red, and the recipe called for yellow onion. But if I had onion on hand, I would use white. But anyways, it's still not my recipe, so I'm gonna just put the link down below and you can make these carnitas. Let's start making dinner. Sorry about the noise. The dishwasher is running. Forgot to run the dishwasher last night, but it's around noon and I'm going to be prepping dinner. I'm going to use an Instant Pot for the carnitas, and this way I just leave it in there and by dinner time it'll be ready. I have red onion. It's because I don't have I usually use white onion, but I used them all up. So we have red onion today, 2 cups of chicken broth, some lemon juice, and some cumin and some oregano, and about 5 pounds of pork. I couldn't find a smaller pork butt in stock, so I went with basically some like ribs, is exactly what it is. So anyways, about 5 pounds total, and we're gonna just get the Instant Pot going and bring this all together. It's so easy. Okay, so I'm just gonna take our pork butt, and in this case, it's just some ribs. And there might be some bone in here, I'm not sure, but either way, I'm gonna go through it when I take it apart. But you're gonna want big sections like this. That's another reason why I grabbed it. Slap those down in the Instant Pot. And the cool thing about the Instant Pot is you just need about 1 cup of liquid to make it work. And the magic happens. It's pretty cool. Yep, these ones have bone. So, you know what, there's a little bit of bone here, but I will pick that out when it comes time. I'm glad the dishwasher has to run right now. But just things to pay attention to when it's time to prep them. So next, all right, so we have the pork in. Next, we're gonna add our onion right on top. And then the next thing is we're gonna add our spices to our liquid and then pour everything all over. So it says juice. The recipe is from tastelovely.com. I'll put the link down below. She recommends using, what do you call it? Orange or lemon or lime. So I'm using lemon because that's what I have. So it's basically the juice from 2 to 3 limes. So I'm gonna guess that's probably gonna be a really good squeeze. So that was probably enough. But you'll want to use fresh. I just don't have any. And then the next thing is 2 teaspoons cumin. We like cumin, so it's there will be a little bit of extra on there. And then 1 teaspoon of oregano. I absolutely love oregano. It's one of my absolute favorite spices to cook with. So if you haven't been using straight oregano, you've been missing out. And then salt, a whole teaspoon of salt. And a half teaspoon of pepper. Nope, I'm sorry, a whole teaspoon of pepper. And then 2 bay leaves, but we'll put those in at the end. So give this a stir. And then this is something that you can meal prep ahead of time as well. You know, if you know your kids have like a soccer practice or something, there's no reason why you can't put this in a crock pot or even make this at lunch or something. You don't have to wait till dinner. So make this the day before, whatever the case, just make it work. You do you. For me, it's lunchtime, hectic. Dinner gets too hectic for me to do something that needs a little bit more focus, so that's why we're gonna go ahead and do it now. And it'll be ready for us when it's time for dinner. So anyways, pour this all over your meat. Make sure you get all those goodies. And then the final step, watch how easy. Put it here, high pressure for 30 minutes. And I'll be back to check on it. All right, the carnitas have finished cooking, and the next step is to spread this all out on a cookie sheet and broil it until it's crispy. But I'm not gonna do that part until it's time to eat. This way it's fresh.
Hi.
Who are you?
Marina, and I have a chocolate.
So I went ahead and used some of my pork has bone and some does not. So I'm just gonna shred it and show you. So you're gonna need a cookie sheet, and I will turn the camera on to show you what we're doing here. So there is the, after it's cooked, I let it cool down, and it's just been sitting in the crock pot or warm setting. So this way I can touch it or handle it. So all you're gonna do at this point is just take this apart and get the good bits off and put it on the pan, and then we're gonna stick it under the broiler and let it just get a little bit of crunchies on it. So I'm gonna grab 2 forks. And a bowl for my trimmings, if you will. Oops. And then I'm just gonna take, it's gonna fall apart. The whole point is for it to fall apart and be super tender. So I'm basically just gonna, if yours has bones, some will have bones, some won't. Just pull the bone off and then put the rest of it on the cookie tray. You know, just give it a good once over, pull off any membranes and that kind of thing. But these are so tasty, and the little bit of fat that's left on it is gonna just give this some serious flavor. So see how nice that piece of meat is? Yeah, so I'm just gonna pop that bad boy on my cookie sheet here. It's really, really pretty easy, and it's already falling apart as it is, so. But if there's any big hunks of membranes and stuff, that's all I'm looking for, and any bone, because we don't want any bone. So I'm gonna continue this process, and I'll be back when this is done. Okay, so after I have gone through it, this is what we have left. All the good stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna take about a cup worth of the liquid. I might have to do that again, it's not a full cup. And put it right over the carnitas. Just a little bit more, I was a little shy in my cup. This way, when it cooks, all of that just comes together and it adds all of that flavor. So this, you're just gonna pop under the broiler for 5 minutes, give it a toss a couple times to get the little crunchies and the bits. All the fat is gonna basically caramelize and get crunchy and delicious. So that's ready to go. So meanwhile, we're gonna make the tortillas next. Okay, so let me turn this down so you can see what's going on here. We'll get a little closer. So this tortilla is gonna be made with 3 ingredients. Basically, mozzarella cheese, almond flour, and xanthan gum. I have a tortilla press here. This is completely optional. You can easily just roll it out with a parchment paper. So this came from, oh gosh, I can't remember the name offhand, but I will link below there. It's not my recipe either. So this is just something I'm trying. So I will link it below. But again, it's not my recipe. Go to their site. So next, let's go ahead and make our tortillas. This recipe is supposed to yield 6 tortillas. But we'll see, right? I'm hoping I can get 6. Cheese is always so hard to get out of here, measured. All right, so we have 2 cups of mozzarella. I think the website that I found this is called Ditch the Carbs. So, fingers crossed. So I have mozzarella, and the next thing I'm going to do is do a cup of almond flour. And then the last but not least, xanthan gum. I got these storage containers at the Container Store. That's what it's actually called, the Container Store. But I like to store all of my like gums and stuff like powders, like baking powders and stuff like that with it. So anyways, all you do is make sure everything's in there, give it a stir, pop it in the microwave, and until it becomes a nice ball. So we'll be back in just a few and pop this in the microwave. Okay, so while that's in the microwave, this particular press, I will link on Amazon if I like it. It comes with parchment paper, so it just makes the actual of putting the tortilla in there and, you know, rolling it out real easy. So we'll see on that. I've never made my own tortillas before, ever. So every 30 seconds, give this a stir until everything comes together. And looks like it needs another 30, obviously. So we're gonna put that back in. Okay, you can start to see a kind of like a dough form here, and I think it needs another 30 more. But all that cheese is just melting nicely. And I'm gonna pop it in for just 30 more seconds. Okay, so now you can see a real good sized ball has formed, and you're just gonna wanna knead it so that everything gets good and mixed. And then I'm gonna get a total weight of this ball and divide it into 6. So I get my perfectly portioned tortillas. Okay, so that looks pretty darn good. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my scale and zero it out and see how much this weighs. So we have 375 grams. So we're gonna divide that by 6, and that's how big each one will be. Okay, so that means each tortilla is gonna be 62.5. So I'm just gonna take off. So that was 67, close enough. So the next thing we're gonna do is take out our press, put that right there in the middle, grab another one of these, pop that down, and see what happened. Hey, look at that. There is a tortilla. I'm pretty impressed. So we're gonna repeat the process and zero out the scale. We're looking for another 62 pounds. Whew, hot. There it is, 63. Roll it in a ball. Put it right there in the middle. Press down. And there another one is. That one's a little messed up when I took it out. That was not. And then once you take these, you're just gonna cook them. So there's the next one. Repeat the process again, another 62 pounds, 62 grams. I think that's what I said it was. It looks like I kind of push it a little bit, so we're going to make sure I offset it this time. It might take a couple to get this jam-packed and learned, but yeah, that one was perfect. And there's another one. And again, repeat the process. Ooh, too much. I'm so excited to try these. I haven't had a good tortilla in a while. That was my perfect one yet. Okay, I don't have to mash it into a million pieces. Just pretty evenly. There's the perfect one. So, and then the next, last but not least, two kid-sized ones. So, operator error. I didn't have to smush it quite so hard, but I tend to be a little too aggressive with my equipment in the first place. But just like that. Yeah, that was perfect. Another one, and last one. This was real easy. You could make a big batch of these up ahead of time for like a dinner party or something like that, definitely. And there you have it, the last one. So next, from here, we cook the tortilla. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cook up the tortillas. So this is ready to go in the broiler when my tortillas are done. This only needs 5 minutes, so I'm gonna cook the tortillas first. Look how cool that is. So anyways, let's go ahead and start with our first one. Put it in the bottom of the pan. Now remember, the tortilla has cheese in it. Maybe I didn't need to put the paper. So when I make my carnitas, I'm not gonna put more cheese in my tortilla, if you will. There we go. Not sure why that's stuck. We're still learning here, but anyways, we're gonna let this toast on each side. Ooh, it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna just, in the miracle of time, it'll be time to flip it next time I'm back. Okay, here's the first tortilla hot off the press. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Just like a real tortilla. I'm super excited to try these. And here we have another one in the pan. I'm just twisting it so it cooks evenly. The nice thing about these tortillas is there's no egg in it. So those that, you know, maybe have an egg allergy or just don't want an eggy flavor, these are great. Oop, we are ready to turn. Doesn't that look awesome? Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna finish these and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, so it's time to turn the carnitas. We're just gonna give these a quick toss and put them right back in there. This way it's crispy on each side. And by the way, this one was ready to come off. We're not done flipping. I need another me. All right, so spread this all out pretty good and run it back in there for another 5 minutes on the broiler. And while we do our last tortilla, there it is. Okay, so while I'm waiting for it to finish up, I have a whole green pepper that is just sauteing with little avocado, salt, and pepper. And that's because I have cheese already in the tortilla. I'm not adding cheese, so I thought I would just add some pepper. So I want to talk to you about these. Let me flip the camera around. Okay, look at these tortillas. Look at how bendable they are. They stay together. Isn't that awesome? Nice and smooth, and it will hold my carnita. So yay! I just hope they taste good, so stay tuned for the taste test. Dinner is about to be ready. Okay, so while my burgers are finishing up, wrong way, we're gonna show you the assembly line here. So my kids love the black beans and they love eating Mexican. So one of the things that I get asked, what do you do with your kids? I don't see anything wrong with black beans. They love them. They're added protein. So they're gonna get some black beans. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some pork in their bowls. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to put some black beans in there. They love black beans. And then I'm going to top theirs with some cheese. So that is the kid version right there. And we will food prep these in just a second. Okay, so there's what it looks like first, and now I'm going to add salsa on the top. I did 5 ounces total between the 2 tortillas of the carnitas, and now I'm just going to add some salsa. Just watch the back of your salsa and make sure you don't have sugar in it. But I am a big fan of salsa, so I can't imagine having it without salsa. So there is my finished product. Yum. So now we're going to do the taste test. All right, so I topped it with a little sour cream too. So let's give this ooh, it's dripping. Let's give this a taste test. Wow. Highly recommend. Yum.
Oh, look what's coming out of the boy.
Okay, so here's the macros for today. I'm missing one thing, but I'm going to add it in my carb, or I should say my food diary, so I can explain what's going on. So for breakfast, I had butter with 2 sausage links. Oh, I forgot to put my eggs in here. So there's a couple things I'm missing. I had 3 eggs. Here it is. All right, so that makes more sense. Okay, so for breakfast we had, which was my lunch, which was butter, 2 sausage links, and some hot sauce over my eggs. Overall, pretty much no carbs for breakfast. So then we move on to the snack. My snack was 2 5-inch long stalks. I should have measured that and got a weight, but celery is pretty much free. It's like one of the few things you could pretty much eat forever because it has a higher fiber content. It's mostly water. So, but anyways, so I put in 1 serving, or I think it was 32 grams of the Perfect Keto almond butter and jelly. So because that computes total carbs, it doesn't take out the stevia that was used to sweeten it. And then it has nuts, so from the almonds. So that shows right off the bat 11 total carbs. But if you go by net carbs, it's 3. So, but anyways, we're doing the total carb challenge, so we're taking the whole thing. So overall, my lunch or my snack, which was 12 of my total carbs, just like that. And that's how quickly it adds up. So I went from no carbs for breakfast to 12 carbs as soon as I had my snack, which was like 2 seconds after my breakfast, I had my snack. So then, I always have my keto coffee, which has unflavored collagen, heavy whipping cream, and black coffee. So there's another carb from that. And then we come to dinner. So I had the carnitas that I made in the Instant Pot. Those roughly, when you add in, the veggies from the red onion and spices, came out to 2 total carbs per serving. So I had 1 serving of that, and I measured. The salsa is another spot where it's going to add up quick because tomatoes are higher in carb. So another 2 carbs just from that. Then the sour cream that I put on top, I put about a tablespoon on each of my tortillas or my carnitas. So that was a whole nother gram. So now what are we missing here? We're missing the tortilla. So I went ahead and added it as a recipe so that you could see. But one tortilla, like that recipe made 6, 1 tortilla has 5 total carbs, 2 net carbs. Because we're doing the total carb challenge, I should have computed this before I had my second tortilla. So I end up having 2. We're going to add those to my food diary, and that smashes me right over my my limit for the day. So, but here's the deal. In the grand scheme of thing, if you calculated the net carbs, I would have only had 11 today. So it was a really good day of eating. And then I went and ran a mile and went to the park, and then I walked another 5 miles. So I had a high calorie day, which was over in a bunch of things. But if I would have planned out and saw how many, saw the macros for each of those tortillas, I probably would have done one and just put more meat, made it more hearty. Because it definitely, with the support of that tortilla, it could have held up to a one big one instead of breaking it into two. So you know what? We live and learn, right? So now I know. But anyways, here is my macros for today. I'm over significantly on my total carbs, but I'm not going to sweat it because, hey, it is what it is. So now I know.